I'm Miss Faith, and I'm going to be doing some cooking activities with you this week. Before we even get started, I want to talk about safety rules because even though it's a lot of fun to cook at home, it's also important to stay safe. If you're going to do these activities with us, please be sure that you have an adult available to be your assistant to help you with the knives and the heat and to generally keep you safe. Some other safety rules: tie your hair back to keep it out of the way. Wear closed-toed shoes so that your toes are safe. And of course, wash your hands. So wash your hands a lot with warm water and soap. Today's ingredients are milk, salt, and vinegar. So the other thing that you need besides the ingredients are the tools, right? Today, for this project, you're going to need a glass measuring cup, and a measuring spoon, and a nice glass bowl, because we're going to put things in the microwave, so you need glass. And we're also going to want to have a thermometer so that we can tell what temperature the milk gets to. So mine looks like this. It's a digital one, but you might have one that looks like this, and that will work too. And actually, if you really don't have a thermometer, you can still do this. You'll just have to watch it much more carefully. The other thing we're going to need is a nice big bowl with a colander in it. You can see my colander, all right, and some cheesecloth. And you probably have this in the house somewhere. If you don't, you can use a paper towel. We're wanting to drain the liquid out when we're done with our cheese. Oh, and did you get it? That's what we're going to make. We're going to make cheese today. Did you realize you can make cheese out of milk, salt, and vinegar? Well, it won't look like the orange cheese that you sometimes have on your sandwich, but it will look much more like the ricotta cheese that you might have in ravioli or in lasagna. All right, let's get started. So I'm looking at my recipe. I've got it down here on the counter, and it asks for 4 cups of milk. So I'm going to pick up my glass measuring cup that has a spout on it so that I can easily pour the milk. I'm using whole milk because that gives us a better result. You could use 2% milk, but in this case, usually whole milk gives you a better result. All right, the recipe says I need a ½ teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to very carefully put my salt in here so that it's easy to measure. And I'm going to scoop it up away from the bowl because I do not want to get too much salt in. And then I'm just even it out so I've got exactly the right amount of salt. All right, that gets sprinkled in. And then lastly, I need my vinegar. And the recipe says 1/4 cup of vinegar. We're going to put these 3 ingredients together, and we're going to add heat, which is one of the main things you do when you're cooking. And the heat is going to, this little science piece of this is, the heat's going to denature the proteins, and just the plain old cooking part of it is, we're going to change it with heat. I'm going to change the texture and the taste. Okay, so I'm now going to put this in the microwave. I generally start this at about 6 or 7 minutes. It usually takes about 10 minutes. That's why I have my thermometer to see that when I get my temperature up to 180, 190 degrees. You will have to experiment with this, science experiment a little bit, depending on the power of your microwave and how cold the milk was to start with. This milk was pretty cold, so it may take a few minutes extra. Okay, so it's done. I'm very carefully lifting it out because it's very hot. I'm going to put my thermometer into it, and 180. All right, up a little bit. Can you see how it's no longer drippy milk? All right. So this is a time where I'm going to think about what other flavorings I might want. So sometimes it's kind of interesting to add a little bit of herb flavor to your cheese. This is oregano, basil, and thyme. And I'm just going to sprinkle some in. I'm not going to dump a lot. The other thing that I like is adding a little bit of garlic powder. Garlic powder is really strong. You do not need a lot, so I'm just going to sprinkle some in there. The other thing that we might or might not need more of is salt, but you won't know that until you taste it. All right, now this part you're going to want an adult for because it involves pouring a very hot liquid. So I'm bringing over my cheesecloth and my colanders in the bowl. And I'm going to pour it away from me, or actually towards the camera, so that if it spills, it doesn't spill on me. All right, and I'm going to stand back a little bit and do it very quickly. All right, there we go. Now watch this. So now this is how this cheesecloth works. All right, so I'm draining out the whey, or the liquid. Right, and in my little package here, I've got some cheese. Right, so it takes a few minutes to drain. I'm going to put some back in here. You can just sit for a minute. Now, cheese, what can you do with it? Well, here's some ideas. You can make yourself some lemon water while you're waiting. If you have a lemon, you just put it in with water. It makes a nice tangy drink compared to the cheese, which is really creamy. And another thing that's really fun to do is to just eat your cheese with an apple. And so while I'm waiting for that to cool, I'm going to grab a knife, and I'm very carefully going to use my tunnel. Right, the knife is going to go through the tunnel, and I'm going to use that to cut the apple in half, so that I can do that. And now I've got a nice flat, oops, let's move this a little bit, a nice flat surface so that I can put that down, and then I can use my claw to just cut a slice off of the apple and cut the core out. Right. And we usually don't have the core, and notice I'm keeping my fingers out of the way. All right. So I think it's just about time to taste our cheese and see how it came out. And I'm going to put this down here, and I've got this little package. All right, hopefully you can see. That comes. See how that looks? All right, so it's just curdy. It's not smooth like your supermarket cheese, but there you go. Let's see if I can get a little taste. All right, so there's what it looks like. And I'm going to have a taste to see if I need any salt. For me, it's perfect. I'm going to get a piece of apple and a piece of cheese, and I'm going to try them together. Very nice combination. So you would put your cheese into the refrigerator. If you don't eat it all at once, you put it in a container, and it will last for a couple of days. But it's really good on toast with an egg in the morning. It's good with an apple in the afternoon, and it's great in the evening if you put it on pasta. The Arts and Science Center is going to be offering the Create Lab program in July and September, so that you can join us live to do this together, and we hope we'll see you there. Thanks for joining today, and we'll see you next time.